Hello. In this video, I'm going to walk you through building a complete automated client intake system using make.com. Now, here's the full system. A Google form collects the inquiry. Then make.com watches for new submissions. When one arrives, it logs the detail on a Google Sheets and create a Notion client record. If you don't like the Google Sheet, go straight to Notion, or if you don't like the Notion, just save Google Sheets, doesn't matter. But then after that, it triggers a personalized welcome email to be sent to that person who submitted the form, with a Calendly link even probably embedded in the email if you want. At that same time, you get an instant notification to tell you a new client has been contacting you, a new client record has been created, and then even a new client folder has been created to store the documentations. If the client come back, potential client, click on the link and sign up for a call with you, for a discovery call. You go to the second scenario. Then it triggers a chain of action, first to update the client statuses on Notion in the existing client record from new inquiry to call book status. Then it triggers the Gmail to send a preparation emails with next steps. And again, Slack will send you a notification about this call booked. All of these tools in this build are free. Before we start, I have already connected to Notion, Slack, Calendly, Google Form, Google Sheets, and Gmail, and even Google Drive with make.com. I have tons of small bite-sized videos that I've shown you how to do exactly just that. I have linked all of these in the description. So if you haven't linked any of these into make.com connection, please watch those little videos first or right after watching this video once. Remember, the connections only need to be done once. Once you've done that, we're going to be able to build. All right, let's get started. Now, before you're going to spend the next 40 minutes or so with me here, why not take the advantage I'm giving you to get hold of these two make.com scenarios that we're about to build with a click of a button, this button, and straight into your make.com account. I would recommend you still watch this video to learn how to set them up properly from scratch, but it will reduce your frustration as all of the modules would have already been there in your account. All you would need to do is to connect them to the right apps with your account, your Gmail, your Slack account, etc., and the right documents that you set up, map them your way. So sign up now. The link is in the description. So what are you waiting for? Let's get started and now learn the first step together. So let's start with the trigger. This chapter, I'm going to show you how to create that first step, which is the trigger, the starting point that sets everything in motion. Our trigger is a new Google form submission. I call it new client inquiries with name, email address, company name, challenges and questions, and how did you hear about me? Five questions for them to answer. I've linked it to a Google Sheet, so every response automatically will go to this sheet and log it as a new row, just like this. Let's go to make.com and create a new scenario. You can find this new Create Scenarios button on the top right-hand corner of make.com. Pretty much a lot of places that you go, you'll see it there. Let's click on Create Scenario. The first trigger, because we need that first action. The first action is Google Form, so we need to say Google Form. There are actually two ways of doing it. In the previous videos, I actually showed you there are two ways. One is directly detects the entry from the form and goes straight to whatever spreadsheet you want to log it to. Second is to watch a row from the linked spreadsheets to this form itself, and then you can log it further to your own spreadsheets. Either way is fine. I'm going to put a link right now so that you can go back to that video and watch that. The link is also in the description, and you can understand what I meant by two different methods. You can track it simply from Google Form entry directly, or via Google Form. When it logs to their linked spreadsheet, you can start your action from there as well. Now, let's just say I'm going to start directly from Google Form. So I'm going to need to watch responses. Triggers when a new response is received. Now it's create creation and sign in. And click continue until you see the connection being established. The form ID, we need to search. So we're going to click on client and then say OK. It will automatically pull in the form ID for you. You can set the limit to 1 for testing purposes. Otherwise, you can set as many results as a maximum number to be pulled at a time during one execution cycle. Click save. You can just save from now on or choose manually, but let's just say from now on to start this process. Now, let's go to the client inquiry form and just type in and submit. If I click run once back into our Google Form trigger, it will tell you as detected 1 entry, which is correct because we set the limit as 1. This proves that this step actually works. There's 1 credit being used when we test run it and pull through. And where did it go? At the moment, nowhere. That's where the next step comes in. Now let's go to the next step. We need to log the information to my own spreadsheets, which I have the dates, name, company, email, challenge, and status. I want all new inquiries to be logged as new inquiry as status on this spreadsheet. So on my make.com scenario, I'm going to click on this plus button and click add module. This time I need to go and find Google Sheets or simply type Google Sheets in the search bar. Click on Google Sheets. What do we need to do? We need to actually add a new row because there is no such row or information exists in that spreadsheet at that stage. So we need to add a row and you need to choose the account or create a new connection if you need to. If it asks you to update, and then just click continue and just allow make.com to have access to your Google Sheets. Now we need to find our spreadsheet. Click here to choose the file. I want it in called client pipeline. The sheet name, simply sheet 1. If you would like to rename this sheet, you can just do that. Otherwise, sheet 1 is perfectly fine. Is there headers in the spreadsheet? Yes, we do. Now, this is where we need to map the value from the Google Forms module. First is the date. We're going to put this create time as our date. Name, we're going to select the name as our name. However, you need to remember for Google Form, you need to keep clicking. Click to the text answer, click to the answer, and you see value. And you can see the testing value there. This is what you need. Otherwise, if you just choose name, it's not going to work. You can continue with this same process for company. Remember, you need to keep extending until we see the value, which is this one. Email address, it's the same email address. Keep extending it. Text answers, value. Challenge, text answers, value. Status, now there is no such field in the Google form. We just want a static status called new inquiry. We simply just put it in there like that. And I think everything that we needed is mapped. Click on save. Sometimes if you see this, literally open it again and click save again, and that error will be gone. We're going to click save version. We're going to come here to submit a response. And submit. We can see from our form responses spreadsheet, which is directly linked to the Google form, there is a new entry. Now, we use Google form watch responses instead. So we're going to do run once to test run it. And now you can see the chain of action has taken place and is added a row on the Google Sheet. The Google Sheet we define is our own Google Sheet called client pipeline. And here you will see the new entry as we type in. Remember we said we need to extend all the way to the value, otherwise these fields will not work. You will see some really random characters and text coming in, and that will not work. So remember my tips to you here. When you map these column, make sure you go into any of these fields in the Google form, dig deeper. Keep clicking this triangle button until you find the value. All right? Lovely. This is the second step of this great client intake scenario that I'm teaching you. Let's move on to the next one. Now, step 3. In this chapter, we're going to look at the Notion client record. Some of you might have only one or the other. So some of you might have only got a spreadsheet on Google Sheet or etc. Some of you might use Notion instead. Some of you might use both. In this scenario, in this video, I'm going to show you both, how to update on both areas. Now, if you only have one, for example, if you only have the spreadsheet, you can skip this stage. If you only have the Notion, you can skip the previous one and go straight to this one. Either way, it works the same. So we're going to get back onto a scenario dashboard. Behind our second module, we're going to click Add Module, and we're going to click to add Notion. I have already created a connection between Notion and Make.com. If you haven't done so, please feel free to watch the video that I will be including the link in the description to connect the module, to connect the app first, and you can continue to watch this video from now on. So once you've done that, we're going to add a module, and you need to choose Notion, and in that you need to choose create a data source item. Because this record that comes in from Google Form has not been logged in your client pipeline sheets on Notion yet, means you're creating something new. Hence, you need to click Add and go to Notion and click Create a Data Source Item. I've already completed the connection. As I said, if you haven't, feel free to watch the video. After this, feel free to watch the videos to do the connection and continue the step. In terms of the data source, we need to go to click ID Finder, and we're going to search with the name client because this is called Client Pipeline on Notion, and it will pull that data source ID directly. Now we need to map the fields. Contact name, we're going to go back to Google Forms because this is where it makes sense. All of the columns is there. So we're going to do name. Remember, keep extending until you see value. This is the name being pulled through. Challenge, challenges in question. Keep extending until you see value. Status, we want all new inquiries to be called new inquiry state. And company, you do exactly the same thing. Company name, text answers, value. And email address, you will use email address, text answers, value. This is all you need to do, and click Save. Sometimes it does that. If you just go in and click Save again, and it will save correctly. So we're going to save the whole version. Now we're going to go to add a new inquiries. Submit, and we will see the linked spreadsheet being updated. So we're going to run the scenario once as a test run. The chain of action has happened. If we go to the client pipeline spreadsheet, new row has updated the new inquiries. And if we go to the client pipeline, you see Sarah cost information is also updated there, and the default status is already there as new inquiry. Perfect. This is the third step that we need to do. See you in the next chapter. Welcome back. Let's just do a quick recap. In the last 3 chapters, we have started off from detecting the Google Form submission, straight to logging into our own Google Sheets. And then in the last chapter, we also talked about logging very similar information to our Notion data sheet. In this chapter, we're going to talk about how to respond to this inquiry in the first place. Now that we logged everything, we need to respond to them. Normally, you do it manually, probably, once you detected the form coming in. We're going to talk about how to send a personalized welcome email with a Calendly link. The link will be embedded in the email. So let's get started. This is our scenario dashboard. It shows the last 3 chapters, the last 3 modules that we have built, similar to the flow that I've just shown you. Now we're going to build the 4th module. So go to the end of the modules here, and then we click on Add Module. We're going to add a Gmail response to the potential customer. Click on Gmail. We need to click Send an Email. If you have not created a connection, this is where you would do that. I have already had a connection linked. If you want to watch how to do Gmail connection or Google Sheets or Google Form connection, go back to my videos, which I will be left linked in the description below to find out how to do them. Now, we want to send to the person. So add recipient. I want to click on that, and then we're going to match the information. Now that Notion has picked up the information, we can actually map it through Notion. All you need to do is to find the email, and then you can see the plain text here. You can do that. Or you can go all the way back to the Google form. Either way is fine. If you do the Google form, you still need to extend the email address column, extend the text answers, extend answers, and click value. Either way, it will do. As long as the original entry of that email address column in the Google form was filled in a proper and accurate email address, and it will get there. Now the subject is where you can say, thank you for your inquiry. Because we just received a client inquiry via the Google Forms, so we're responding to them by first saying thank you. In the content, this is where I'm going to type in a welcome message to them. So let's just say hi, and I want to quote their name just as a personalization. You can use the Google form, or you can go back to use the Notion. So let's just say contact name, plain text either. This is fine. Or again, go back to the Google form. You go to the name, you extend that, text answers, and value. And then comma. Now, I want to embed a Calendly link, which is this one, onto the email. First, I want to embed it with this here word. So I need to do something like this. First, I'll put in this code. This is a link of my Calendly booking. And then after the here, we need to close off this HTML coding, just like that. Feel free to pause this and then use this text to help you. This little code here, and then the end code as well. I'll put that in the description or comment so that you have something to refer to. Once you've done that, you click save. We'll put www as well. Just make sure the link is fine. Click save. Sometimes it does that, saying recognizing something has not been done. You click on there, click save, and then the error message will be gone. Let's save the version. Okay. Now we're back on the form. We're going to submit another form. Submit. Come back to the scenario. We're going to click run once. A chain of action has happened. All 4 modules has been completed. We first see the actual linked form to the spreadsheet has been updated, which is not part of the scenario, if you remember what I said. However, our client pipeline spreadsheet has been updated. Our Notion spreadsheet has been updated. And then we have sent this email as well. The name has been personalized, and then there's a link here. You click on the link, you open up the Calendly booking system. Perfect. This is exactly what we need to see happening. Personalized, professional, send in second. The Calendly link is right here. One click and your potential client can book a call with you directly into your calendar. Magic will continue in the next chapter. See you in the next chapter. Welcome back. This is step 5. Let's refer back to our lead to call booked automation flow. We are still building the first scenario on the top from Google Form to the end Google Drive. In the last chapter, we have talked about how to send a personalized welcome email with a Calendly link embedded in the email. Now, up to this stage, all of the actions has been taken without you even noticing. If you don't check the form, if you don't check the sheet, if you don't check the Notion record, you will not have known this chain of action has happened. A new client has asked for your services and for more details. So let's set a notification to ask Slack to send you an instant notification to tell you all of this has happened. A client has made an inquiry. We're going to do this step right here. Let's start. So back to our scenario, we're going to add a new module. I'm going to make it a bit smaller, just so that all of the modules can be a bit more visible here. On the end here of the Gmail, we're going to add a new module. We're going to add a Slack module. We're going to have to send a message. I have already connected my Slack app to make.com. Now remember, we need a bot connection because we need to be able to have a notification be popped up on our phone and on our desktop when this happens. If we are linked to a private channel and send it as yourselves, if you are connecting as a person, you will not get that notification because you're asking make.com to send a message via yourself to yourself and there's no notification. So we need a bot to send us a notification. Make sure it's bot connection that you're doing. I previously made a video to talk about a Slack connection process. Please watch this video and the link is in my description below. So to find a channel ID, the best way forward is actually go back to the enter a channel ID and select from the list. In here, you will see all of the type of channels. Remember what I've just said. We need a direct message, not a channel. Otherwise, you'll be sending from as yourself to the channel and there's no notification be sent to you because you are the sender. So we need direct message. And in here, we're going to use user ID. The user ID is go back to the Slack and you go to the bottom left corner, see your name there. Click on that and we're going to go to see our profile. And in here, you click on these 3 dots. We're going to copy member ID. Just like that, pop it in. And here is what you can do. Needs to put in any message that you want Slack to send it to you. So let's just say new project inquiry, new client inquiry. And then we can mark some stuff, the name. The name is from Notion. You can use Notion or you can go all the way back to use the Google form. I like consistency, particularly after testing. I know everything works well. I'm going to use the same. So I'm going to expand the name, expand the text answers, expand the answers, and say value. And then we can also put more information if you like. Let's just say email and use exactly the same email address, text answers, and value. Check Notion for full details. If you want to put the link of Notion into this text notification, you can do that. This is the way of doing it. You first need to get the link to share, and then you go have a straight line from the top to the bottom, and you click here or anywhere that you want to embed that in and close the HTML, just like that, and click save. I'm going to save this scenario now. We're gonna put in an inquiries. All right, click submit. And then we're going to come back here and we're going to click run once to test this scenario. As you can see, the whole chain of action has happened. 5 action has happened in the blink of an eye, literally in 2 seconds in front of your eyes. What we did was first detect the Google form coming in. We logged it to a new line on our own client pipeline spreadsheet. We then log it to our new Notion line for the client pipeline database. and then we send them a message. We go to the sandbox. This is a fake email. Obviously, they didn't get it, but this is our messages with the embedded link. They click on there, they will then select. They can see the Calendly link. Now, in return, you will see the messages right here. New client inquiry with the name, the email address, and click Notion for details. And we embedded click here. And as I click there, and it goes back to the client pipeline Notion database. That's it. 5-step scenario. So far, so good. I'll see you in the next chapter to continue. Welcome back. I'm so excited. This is the final chapter of this scenario 1 that we're building from lead to call booked automation, 100% free tool with mate.com. Last chapter, we talked about how to send yourself a Slack instant notification. Now we come to the end of the scenario. You can continue to build further in the scenario, but I think by adding a new folder to store these new clients or potential clients' files is a good closure for now. So the final chapter today, we're going to look at, for the scenario 1, we're going to look at Google Drive creates a named folder for the client's documents. So let's look at the scenario so far. We have all 5 modules set up to the Slack module. Now we're going to go and set up one more module. We're going to go and say Google Drive. Go to click on Google Drive, and then we're going to click Create a Folder. Now, before we continue, I have to tell you more about the Google Drive connection. I have a video specifically to talk about that. We cannot simply do the same thing like how we connect Gmail or Google Drive or Google Sheets with Google Drive. To connect Google Drive to Mike.com, it requires a one-time setup through what we call the Google Cloud Console. I've created a separate video just for that. After this, feel free to go and have a look. Link the Google Drive to Mike.com and redo this video to complete this scenario. Link is in the description. Once you have done it, let's begin. So I'm going to select this restrict connection. I need to update the permission. Sometimes it does that. I'm just going to go to say integral maps safely and then click connect, continue. So now it has been connected. So the destination is to my drive, linked to that account. And then here, you can select where you want these folders. If you just want the folders on its own as a top layer or the top level inside my drive, just click the first one. If you want the folders to be created inside another folder, you need to find that folder. Let's just say I want all my new clients folders to be created inside this clients folder. So we select this clients and the new folder's name, we can map that information. The easiest way is to map with the name. As I said, I'm very consistent. I go all the way back to the first module, which is Google Form, consistency. Click on the name, click on the text answer, click on the answer to extend everything, and then we're going to click on the value. As simple as that. Click Save. Sometimes these kind of error messages does come on and say the value can't be empty, but if you just click into it again and click Save, it usually will go. Click Save to save this version, and then now we can test it. Let's put in another inquiry. All right, let's just click one once and it will move everything back to the middle. As you can see, the chain of action has once again taken place successfully. We have a new form coming in entry, new line in the client pipeline spreadsheets, new lines in the client pipeline's Notion database, and we have sent them an email. We've sent them an email just like here with a Calendly link, this link, and if I go to the Google Drive, we have created this folder. And in my Slack, I received a notification with Boris Johnson's as a new client inquiry with the link to go back to Notion as well. There we go. Let's refer back to this flowchart. We have built a whole scenario to really automate your lead to call booking automation. At this stage is only the beginning of an inquiry capturing. We now, in the next chapter, we're going to look at what if a client does click on a Calendly link and does book a call with you? What happens next? We're going to go to do the scenario 2 and then do more changing statuses, send even more information to them, and even send you another notification to tell you the call is booked. Stay tuned to the next chapter. See you then. Great, welcome back. In this chapter, this is now chapter 7. We have completed the whole scenario 1, as you can see on the flow chart here. In the last few chapters, we started from detecting an incoming filled completed Google form from a potential client. Then it logs onto our menu Google Sheets for inquiry details. Similar details has then been triggered to log on Notion on the database. And then we were triggering a Gmail, sending out a personalized welcome email embedded with a Calendly link. After that, we asked Mate.com to send us an instant notification to our personal Slack channel. And finally, we asked Google Drive to create a named folder for these new client documents. These scenarios is to capture the whole chain of actions that you might normally be doing manually, from detecting the form coming in to logging the details, sending welcome emails, and create their folders. Now, let's move on to the next scenario. If somebody actually click on that Calendly link in your welcome email and book a call, that's what we're going to do today. After they book a call, you might want to update the status on your Notion or even Google Sheet, but we're just going to pick one for the scenario 2 just to show you how it works. After Notion updating, we want the Gmail to send them a preparation email. Oh, we notice you booked this call. This is what you need to prepare for the call. And you might want an instant notification to tell you, hey, somebody actually booked a call with you. This is what we're going to do right now. Now, this is the scenario 1 that we built. We are going to build a completely new scenario. So we're going to go back to Scenario Builder. And then click on the top right-hand corner, Create Scenario. This time, the trigger point is not Google Form anymore, it's Calendly. So we're going to type in Calendly, and we're going to select Watch Events. For Calendly, we need to create a webhook, but I have already done that connection. I will put a little video link in the description for a video that I've actually walked through with you how to do this exact connection. So go ahead and watch that video if you would like to connect to my Calendly account. Otherwise, we're going to set up this scenario. So we're going to watch events, right? So we want events to be detected when the invitee creates something. So we take invitee create. In terms of the user URI, we are going to select from list and then going to select from the organization URI. This is not compulsory, so we can leave it as it is if you want to. Simply click Save. And our webhook has been set up properly, and we click Save. On the top, maybe we want to first rename this scenario. Let's just say Discovery Call Notion Log Slack Notification. Whatever you want to call it, just so that you know what the scenario is about. We're going to click Save in the bottom to save the version and the changes that we've just made. So here is a Calendly link that we sent to the potential clients when we send out the welcome email. Let's just book an event there. Let's pick somebody that we have done that before. So let's just pick Sarah Cox. So we're going to put Sarah Cox here and schedule event. This event has been scheduled. The call has been scheduled. We are now going to go back to a scenario. One thing you need to notice is that when you want to test run a module that has a webhook instead of a normal connection, we cannot pre-do the test data before we click on Run Once. If you do that, it will actually tell you unprocessed data in webhook queue. You can run a scenario with the existing data or wait for more data. If you click existing data, then it will allow you to pull through. Sometimes it doesn't, then you need to click Run Once, then go on and book a call, for example, and come back to see how their interaction goes on with the webhook being detecting the events happening. So we have actually got this through, as you can see, cost@yahoo.com, which shows you that this test run has been successful. Great. Watch next chapter. We're going to continue with this scenario 2. Welcome back. We are in chapter 8 now, and we're building the scenario number 2. In the last chapter, we have started off by creating that trigger event, which is watching out for Calendly events coming in, means a call to be booked. This time, we're going to look at how to update Notion. To update Notion, or even to update the sheets or Google Sheets that we built before, you have to have 2 different modules. First, you need to watch the row or watch the information to match the information first. And then the second module is to actually update the item. So when I click here on the right-hand side after Calendly and click the plus button to add module, first we need to add a watch information trigger. So for Notion, we need to say search object. So we need to find that object first before we can update it. The connection has already been established. In order to make this work, you must have an internal connection. I have a video that I made previously to walk you through how to exactly create this connection with Notion and Make.com. The link is in the description. Please feel free to have a look. Once you have established a connection, you simply just need to set up the rest of the module. For search objects, we are going for data source item, so keep it as it is. For search for data source ID, we click on the search and then type in partial name or the full name of your database and click search, okay? And it will pull through the data source ID automatically for you. This is where you need to look for that item in the Notion database. So we want to match the email address that comes in because that's usually the most accurate information. So you use email and then you use equal. Here, you would then go and match with this email address. As for limit, you can put 1 or you can put 10 and click save. Sometimes you will notice some error messages like this. I've been encountering it for quite a while. Simply click back and you will see saying you actually have not put some of the values, which is not true because I did. So I would click back onto the module itself and simply click save again, and these error messages will be gone. If you go back to Calendly, the webhook is there. Notion, you can let's just say set the limit as 1 and click save. Now, we need to build another module now to update Notion. So click on add module, Notion, we need to say update a data source item. Connection's already there. We need to update by data source. The ID is exactly the same. Click search, type in the partial name or full name, and the search will pull through the data source ID. This time, the data source item ID, you click on it, you need to match with the Notion previous module with this page ID right here underneath object. And the update that we want to do is the status. The status and select from the list. We don't want new enquiry anymore. We want it to be changed to call booked. So we click on that and simply click save. Once again, it's saying I don't have any of these values. I just have to click save one more time, and then this error message will be gone. Click the save button in the bottom of the panel to save the whole version. Now let's go and pick a client. And then we're going to run this scenario once. With webhook, you can click run once and then go and book a call. And then go back to here. You will see the chain of events happens right in front of your eyes. If now we go to the client pipeline on Notion, you will notice Margaret Thatcher status has been updated to call booked. That's exactly what we wanted. Excellent. Hello, welcome back. In this chapter, we're going to go to the next step of the scenario. We have set up the trigger events to detect Calendly client booking the call. We just set up 2 modules to search for the item on Notion and then update the client statuses to call booked. Now we're going to move on to the third part, which is to send this client a preparation email. So back to our scenario. We're going to build another module. So click on that plus button on the right-hand side. This time we're going to send an email. So we go to Gmail. Let's send an email. Connection is already there. And we're going to start typing and first defining the recipient. Click recipient. We're going to map this recipient back to the same email address. So this is the email address we're mapping. It's a plain text. And that's the email that we need to send to. Subject line. So you can say, your discovery course confirmed. Here's what to prepare. In terms of body type, you can select collection of content, text messages. If you have different things to insert, you will see the settings changes slightly differently. So let's add the body content. We don't need to worry about the image. So basically, you can also use raw HTML in this occasion. So first, we're going to be a bit more personalized. So hi, we need to find a name. So we need to find contact name and the plain text. Your 30 minutes discovery call is booked. To make the most of your time, a brief overview of your current situation, your 2 to 3 biggest challenges, and what success looks like in the next 6 months. I look forward to our conversation. And then type in that Ivy. As simple as that. In one of the previous chapters, when we sent out the Calendly link in the email, I've taught you how to actually embed link. Go back and watch in that chapter if you want to embed any link to it. If you want to embed a file, my recommendation is to first upload the file onto an online server that will give you a direct link to that file. And then you can just upload that. You can just embed that link as if you embed a normal website link. That will be the easiest way to do uploading files for the client, okay? Now we're going to click save and save this scenario. If we click run once, nothing happens. So we need to now book a call. Gordon, just for the purpose of testing the Google. So we don't need to worry too much about that. And click schedule events. And now you see the chain of action happening right in front of your eyes. Perfect. Notion has updated it to call booked. And if you look, the Calendly event's been booked. And also you can see in sent mail area, it's not found obviously because it's a fake email address, but you can see this email that we've sent out using their client's personalized name. So this module works perfectly. Next, we're going to look at how to do the Slack notification. See you in the next chapter. Welcome back. You are now in the final chapter of this build. We're still in the scenario number 2. As you can see on the screen, we are going to the final module. We need to build a Slack notification sending so that you get a notification on your phone or on your desktop when it comes. This is the scenario we have been building. So now we need to build the final scenario. Go and click on the plus button and click on Slack or search Slack like what I'm doing right now. We need to say send a message. This connection has already been done. And I already mentioned it previously in the previous scenario that we were building. We need a bot connection. I have also attached a video link to talk you through how to actually build this Slack connection with waitmate.com. Feel free to go and watch that video and build your connection properly. In here, we're going to go select from the list, and then we're going to look for direct message. Go on there. If you want to look for the user ID, I've talked about it before. Go to the left bottom, see your name, click on that, click profile, go on to this 3 dots and say copy member ID. Come back and pop in the ID. User ID, and come back, pop in the ID. Okay. So sorry, just to amend, the ID type needs to be user ID, and the user is the member ID that we've just copied and pasted. Now we're going to talk about what to put in the text. So we can say check Notion, and then we need to look for the name. The name is down here, contact name. The plain text has booked a discovery call. Status change to call booked. Prep email sent. Something like that, just so that you know what happens. In the previous scenario we're building in this video, we also talked about how to embed a link in there so that when you see the notification, you can even see a link when you click here or whatever you want to embed it to. Feel free to do that, but I'm not going to go through it again here. You can also select more personalized information just so that it gives you more context if you want to. But for now, let's just click save. And we say the scenario. And then we're going to run once. Now, remember, we need to go on and book a call. Let's find Boris Johnson this time to book this call. Boris Johnson and schedule event. Lovely. You can see the chain of action has happened right in front of your eyes. So for the notion and the most importantly, the notification has popped up on Slack. This is what you're looking for. If you have an app on the phone, it will pop up on the app on the phone as well. But Boris Johnson's now changed to call booked. You can also see in the sandbox. You can also see in the sandbox here, this email has been sent right there to Boris about the preparation of the call. You will also see the Slack channel. If you then click on that, this is what we have put in. The name has been inserted here. If you want to insert other personal information, you can do that here with the mapping that I've just shown you. And in the previous scenario, you can even learn how to do embed link as well. The whole scenario has been completed. As you can see, we have built 2 scenarios here. Start all the way from the beginning when somebody submitted inquiry through a Google form, update both Google Sheets and Notions, sending them a personalized welcome email with the Calendly link. That actions then get triggered to get Slack to send you instant notification, and then ask Google Drive to create a relevant client folder so you can store documents. When the potential client takes action and actually going on to Calendly to book a call, then the scenario 2 gets triggered. It notifies Notion to update the status of the client to call booked. Then Gmail send them another emails for the preparation of the call. Finally, Slack sends you a second notification to tell you somebody has booked a discovery call with you. Now, if you do all of this, it's a good half an hour, if not more, of your personal time. And normally it takes more time to get into groove of doing a task. When you think about that, it could even saving a whole hour of your time just for one client. A whole hour of administration time is something so precious that you can use to talk to a couple more clients to get them on board. This lead to call booked automation gives you an end-to-end workflow built in Make.com using 100% free tools. And I've just shown you how easy it is, straightforward it is to set them up. When you remember how much time you might spend and how much time you saw Make.com to do all these actions, there's no brainer. Make.com literally takes 2-3 seconds to go through a chain of actions for both scenarios when we just did the text run. So we're now back in the scenario number 1. We're going to take you through the full action of what happens here. So first, I forgot to rename this scenario. That's why it took a little bit while for me to find the scenario. So new client inquiry automation. That's my rename. Click save. So we need to first go to the Google form to start this action. So Google form. So we're going to complete the Google form. James Bond has just submitted an inquiry. We are going to come back to this first scenario and then we're going to run this. The chain of action has happened. You can also instantly see the Slack notification come through straight away. So let's go through the chain of action. First, we're going through the Google Sheets. You can see now the new entry from James Bond has been inserted. Second, we're going to go to the client pipeline database on Notion. You will also see James Bond has been added on the top as new inquiry. Third, we are going to see the Slack, going to see the Gmail. We're going to send folder here. We can see our email sending to Bond. Here with the name being inserted as well as an embedded link, you can click on that and go to Calendly to book a call with me. At the same time, you already saw the Slack notification pop up instantly. And here it tells you new client inquiries and gives you the link to go back and see the Notion database. Finally, we go to Google Drive and we see a new client folder called James Bond has been created. So the scenario 1 has worked perfectly. Now we look at scenario 2. If James Bond see this email and click on the link and went on and book a call, I'm going to put James Bond at, I think that is the email address. So let me double check. It's a bond at 007.com. And then we click schedule event. We then now can run this scenario once. You can use existing data. Chain of action has also happened for scenario 2. Instant Slack notification already come up. So let's go through the chain of action. First, let's go to Notion. You find the James Bond line, the information, and updated the status to call booked. Second, it has sent James Bond a preparation call email to tell them what to prepare for this email, for this discovery call. And on Slack, we have already seen a new notification has popped up to tell you James Bond has booked a discovery call. So one final question you might ask is, all of this, so how many operation is it actually using? How many credit is it using? So we, in the scenario number 1, we can see 6 operation because there's 6 modules, means 6 credits going to be used. And then in scenario 2, we have 5 modules being built, 5 credits going to be used. So be aware that it's not 1 credit being used in these 2 scenarios. It's 1 credit for each of the module that went through and trigger properly and go through to the next module. I'm so glad to show you all of these 2 scenarios to build your complete client lead capture from lead to call booked automation. Each chapter is also available as a short standalone tutorial, particularly when we talk about connecting these modules to Make.com. The full playlist is in the description. Start with whichever app you are at least familiar with and work through from there. Don't forget, if you want all of these modules under 2 scenarios as a template inserted directly straight into your Make.com account using just a click of the button like this one, go to the description right now, find a sign up sheet and sign up for our templates for you to download. If this video saved you time, share it with other coaches, business owners, consultants who are struggling to having to manage their inquiries manually. They will thank you. And subscribe for my channel for more of these videos. I do thank you for watching today, and I hope you find it useful. Like my video or even comment to ask me any more questions. That's it from me. See you in the next video. Bye for now.